Guys, let's talk about the monsters in Antarctica. So we all know I've been talking a lot about Antarctica lately. I've been talking a lot about the portals and the ice walls and stuff, but I haven't really touched on the sea monsters and the land monsters living in Antarctica. Not all of them live in the waters of Antarctica. Some are actually on land, but there are creatures in Antarctica that even the mightiest of mighty, the polar bear sea lions, are scared of. Even the mightiest. But these creatures have been kept secret from us. Why? Because they're of too of importance. If people find out about them, people will try to go to Antarctica. Go to Antarctica for what? Well, if you capture these creatures, you know something's gonna happen. You're gonna make money off of it. Now, the creatures that are in the waters of Antarctica are massive, massive. Stories told by sailors years ago have said these creatures have been up to 60 to 70 feet long, and they prey on anything. They're apex predators. But, I mean, what do you expect? Something that's 60 to 70 feet long, I'm pretty sure it's going to be an apex predator. And nothing, I mean nothing, is going to be able to challenge it in the waters. And that's what's happening with these creatures. But, you know, most of the stories we've heard, these things are able to take out small ships, flip them over, and kill the people that's on them. It was a shipwreck found in Antarctica that was 10,000 miles below the surface, I think it said. Something along that line. 10,000, 1,000, I can't remember the exact length. But this ship was destroyed, and it took them years to find it. But the story behind this ship actually getting sunk, the real story was it was attacked by the sea monsters of Antarctica. And it's not just one sea monster. There are more than 3 different sea monsters that live in the ocean of Antarctica that we know of, that have been seen and stories have been told about. And one of these monsters is going to be very creepy when I talk about this, but yes, it does exist. We just not allowed to go to Antarctica. If we were able to go to Antarctica like we are the rest of the world, we will find out a lot of things that the government does not want us to know. Now, these creatures can grow huge. Like I said, 60 to 70 feet long. They attack ships. They feed on polar bears. They feed on anything because they are apex predators. They're one of the biggest creatures in the Arctic, and they live deep below the ice. Deep below the ice to where we can't even get there. That's what it's called, sky ice. Sky ice is the coldest ice in the world. You cannot touch it. You will instantly get frostbite. They live down there. Their bodies are immune to it. It doesn't bother them like it bothers us. So, a lot of military personnel have caught on their radars huge serpent-like creatures underneath the waters, which put a little fear in them. A lot of times, it's been said that they've shot at a couple of these. Has any been caught? No, not that I know of. But these are things that the military like to keep classified, but stories have been getting released a lot lately. And people have been coming out talking about these sea monsters in Antarctica that nobody wants to talk about. A lot of these creatures that have been caught, they don't want us to see. They don't talk about it. They don't mention it. The water holds a lot of mysteries, but Antarctica, the Arctic Ocean, holds even bigger mysteries. Now, this thing here, this is not the exact animal that has been said to be lurking in the bottom of the ocean, but it looks something like this. It has a humanoid type, manatee type look to it, and it's ferocious. And I mean ferocious. They say this thing grows up to 20 to 25 feet in length. 20 to 25 feet in length. And it's known to attack anything, even things that are bigger than itself. Now, I don't know if this thing could take on a polar bear or not, but from the looks of it, it probably can. I don't know. Polar bears are pretty huge themselves, but these things grow to 20 to 25 foot in length. They look kind of like this. They have like a human looking face, with like a manatee body. They're very powerful. They're very strong. They lurk in the Arctic, but they are prey for the first one that I showed you that grows to 60 to 70 foot in length. These things are fed on by them along with every other thing you're going to see. Besides maybe one last thing on this list that I'm going to talk to you about. But we'll talk about it when I get there. But these are some crazy stories that I've heard about these creatures. And when I said the military was talking about it, it was a military official who used to be stationed in Antarctica to help protect the scientists doing research, American scientists doing research. And it was nighttime, very cold out. They were drilling, and they had just finished drilling, actually. It was getting late out, and they were about to go back to their tents or base, their military base, wherever they're stationed at, and call it a night. Well, in the middle of the trip back, while they were in their cars, the vehicles, one of these things was sitting up on the ice, and they thought it was like a seal or something. They thought it was a seal. So they flashed the lights on it, and this thing went charging at them full speed ahead. And this story was from the 80s. So imagine how much different it is now. Charging at them full speed ahead. They shot at it a couple times. It said the ice broke off where it was at, and it fell into the water. So they had to take a different route because of them shooting the ice, causing it to crack open, and this thing fell into the water. They said it was hit a couple of times. I'm not too sure if it was killed, but it was hit a couple of times. But being that big, they said this thing was humongous. They had never seen anything like it. So this is kind of what it looked like when they saw that creature on the ice. But imagine this about 20 feet taller than what this is right here. That's scary. But in the waters, lurking at the very bottom, are things that are even scarier. And I keep saying this, military personnel hate going in the waters of Antarctica because of this creature. It's huge. It's huge. But last but not least, the giant shrimp that lurks in the waters of Antarctica. Yes, there is a huge shrimp that lurks in the water of Antarctica, and it is scary. Very, very scary. People say that that giant shrimp is one of the deadliest things in the ocean of Antarctica. The deadliest things. This is one of the things they keep from us. They don't want us to know about. There are some huge shrimp out there, but this one is said to be from anywhere from 40 to 100 feet in length. Think about that. These things grow from anywhere from 40 to 100 feet. Just imagine seeing a shrimp that's 80 to 90 foot long in the water with you, and you're on the menu finally. Not them being on the menu. You're on the menu. You are the menu for this thing. It's scary. It is scary. Who wants to think about being in the water with a giant shrimp that is likely to kill you? But these things lurk in the bottom of the Arctic Ocean. A lot of military personnel, especially in submarines, there's always submarines in the Arctic. There's always submarines there. And the people that ride on these submarines hate being in the Arctic waters because they say some of the scariest things lurk in the bottom of the Arctic Ocean. Why is that? Because it's cold, it's unexplored, and we're not able to kill these things. We're not able to hunt them because we're not allowed to go there. That's why it's scary. They see these huge things on their radar and they try to figure out ways to get away from it. I'm pretty sure some of these submarines are shooting at them. Most submarines don't have windows. They have radar. So everything they usually see is on radar. They don't actually see it, but they can see how big something is. And that's just as scary as actually being in the water with it. You're right around the corner from something that's the same size as your submarine. That's a scary thought, guys. A very scary thought. But we're going to talk more about the Arctic, guys. Let me know what you think. Have you heard any secrets about huge creatures in the Arctic Ocean like the giant shrimp? Let me know in the comment section what you think. And have you heard about them?